Hi, this video is about the question of whether or not SEO is dead or dying in 2019 and beyond. In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to see if your business or your niche that you're in is dying in search volume. And I'm also going to help you understand kind of the long-term search trends. It's not just about is SEO dead or dying today, but also what's it going to look like in 10 or 20 or 50 years so that you can create maybe a business that is something that your business needs to focus on. That's one of the main questions I'm going to try to answer here. Hi, my name is David Hood, and I've made well over $1 million with SEO, and I know you can too, and I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people make their first million online. So first of all, why does this question keep popping up? My best guess is that there's a lot of people who have voices who they have like a website that's ranking really well, and there's an algorithm update that affects a very small percentage of people, but it affects them significantly. Or they do something wrong and they cross a threshold and their site suddenly loses 95% of traffic. And to them, SEO is dead. They were making a lot of money or they were getting a ton of traffic and now they're not. And so there's tons of people over the years, for many years, who have come out and said, oh, SEO is dead. And they've quit SEO to move on to something else. Okay, and so the first place we're going to go to try to answer this question is going to be to the search data. And this is the amount of searches per day, and we'll go ahead and highlight this. So let's turn this off, no color. So 2 trillion searches per day in Google in 2018. We've got 7.7 billion searches per day in Google in 2015. And we got 3.3 billion searches per day in Google in 2012. So this just small data set seems to indicate that it's not dead or dying. So it's not so much can I rank or how hard it is to rank, which is what a lot of people are thinking when they say SEO is dead. They're saying, well, I can't do SEO anymore. That's really what they're saying. I can't rank websites anymore. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that. That's what they're saying. And what a better question is, are people still searching on the internet? Are still people looking for answers on the internet? And I think the answer to that is definitely a yes. It's a very strong yes. And I know that Google isn't the only search engine, but they tend to be the vast majority of the search traffic. And so I think that this is going to be pretty accurate data. Pretty strong data in terms of the long-term trends. So it doesn't look like, I was actually surprised. I didn't think it was going to be this strong. I thought it, before I looked up this data, I thought it actually had flatlined overall. And so, you know, this takes me a little bit by surprise, because even if it flatlined, that's still not dead or dying, okay? And I'm going to give you an analogy that I think really fits well with this. Okay, so utilities. So let's look at different kinds of utilities. So you have water, water and electricity. Let's look at those. I guess this is electricity. So 200 years ago, electricity didn't exist. Okay. Now it is something that is a baseline requirement for modern living, essentially. Okay. So if you think about it like that, it didn't exist. Now people have it, and it enables so many other things that it's just kind of assumed that you're going to have it. Okay, I think this is what search has become. Maybe Google goes away. Maybe in 50 years Google isn't there. Maybe there's a different company. But the ability to search the internet, the be able to put in a query that's 4 or 5 words long and get out an answer or a set of answers is amazing. It's an amazing human achievement. If you think about really simple things that you can answer now very, very quickly, almost within 10 or 20 seconds, that 20 or 30 years ago, before the search engines really were big, that you just would be like, I don't know. And to give a really simple and easy to understand example, it was like, how old is Tom Cruise? Okay, well, I can just ask my Alexa, or I can go to Google and answer that query. Alexa, how old is Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise is 56 years old.
Okay, so
he was born on July 3rd, 1962.
So that is something that maybe before you just wouldn't know. You just and that's a really simple example. But there's lots of other examples like that where the ability to use a search engine to answer a query is a dramatic improvement in our ability to know and understand things to the degree that it's just amazing. And so I believe personally, and I think there's a lot of data to support this up, that search is essentially on a utility level already and has been for quite some time. And from that perspective, I think the answer is an obvious no, SEO is not dying. No, people are not going to stop searching anytime soon. There isn't going to be suddenly not a need to search. And you might think, well, there might be something else that comes in and replaces it. I think a lot of our ability to, our desire or the way we go about trying to understand things, try to figure things out, try to get an answer to a question. People have made the point that social is replacing that, and I think that there's some truth to that to a certain degree. At the same time, the data and just the idea, there's certain things that you just need, like the ability to just put in a question or something into the search engines. It is so amazingly powerful that it's not going to go away anytime soon. I don't think that there's anything that can really replace that completely. Maybe it'll go down a little bit, but it'll still be there. Okay, we got this nice trendy outfit that I found online. And how do you check, like, what about your business personally? What about, you're in a certain type of business. Now maybe that specific business SEO is dying for you. So what you would do is you'd go to Google Trends. It's trends.google.com. And so maybe we'd type in accordion outfit. All right, I'm just being silly here. It's probably not. Let's try NFL. Okay. So long term, well, we want to go much longer. Let's do 2004 to present. We want to go as long as possible. Okay. So there's people. I've heard things that say that this sport is losing popularity, but from a search standpoint, it's definitely not. I think there's a pretty strong trend here. Let's try something that we think might actually be more able to. So this makes sense. Okay, so if your website is all about selling iPods, well, you're probably a little bit late. Okay, this is another example, and I like that it shows by state. And it can give some other related queries. Let's see if we can come up with another one. Chuck Norris. Interesting. So peak Chuck Norris, and then he kind of had a revitalization. But sorry, Chuck, you're not quite as popular on the internet as you were before. And this is a percentage of 0 to 100. This doesn't mean that there's 4 people searching for Chuck Norris. And for some reason, people in South Dakota and North Dakota really like Chuck. Very interesting. Let's pick another one. I'm going to do NBA. Okay, also improving. And I'm just doing United States right now. Let's check something else. Let's see if we can do let's do like podcasts. I don't know. Now this isn't going to. Sometimes what happens is there's an alternative word for the same thing that replaces it, and so you have to kind of know the market that you're in and try to understand that. This is really interesting. It looks like podcasts, when they first, maybe I don't know if they first came out then. I don't remember when podcasts they lost popularity. But I think that, and this matches with the data that I'm seeing, is that they've started to increase in popularity in the last several years. In the last several years, they've just kind of a nice, good long-term trend for this. So that's a good way to really look at it. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. You compare. I'm not showing you all the power of this, but hopefully that helps you answer. Your business. You can go in and look at that. And if you have any questions about your business specifically, please put a comment below, and I'll do my best to help you. So yes or no, I think that at this point you should know that my answer is absolutely not. SEO is not dying. The main core principles that Google's algorithm works on are roughly the same as they were 20 years ago. They still use off-page SEO or links. They still use on-page SEO. Probably there's only I would say maybe a handful of major developments. Now there are some tweaks here, so the exact way in which they evaluate links, the exact way in which they try to find spammy links, that has changed. But the idea that they use links and your internet popularity essentially to evaluate is still true. And so I think Google really likes where their algorithm is right now. Anyway, getting a little bit off topic. Thank you for watching. Please like or subscribe. If you thought this video was valuable to you, definitely do that. That would be really helpful to both of us. And leave a comment below. There's also some links below to some more information. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.